Yes. All right. Very good. So the topic is a community that. So I'm shifting the topic. I know the topic says what it says here on you on TikTok. So I've covered that. Y'all can. The topic is being shifted now to a community that honors your bigness and authenticity. So this is beautiful. So today was the Womanhood Initiation. Hello, YouTube. I'm glad to include you in the conversation. I tried to go live here earlier to include you in the conversation. I just wrapped up here about naming it and owning it in order to own your full power. And now that I'm finished here, I'm shifting the topic to a community that honors your bigness and authenticity. This topic is inspired by today's Womanhood Initiation, and the last Womanhood Initiation is happening this coming Sunday. So if you've been pondering the Womanhood Initiation, the community, whatnot, this Sunday is your last time to experience it for a little while. We will do it again in the future. When, I don't know. But if you are no longer interested in waiting, go ahead to the link in my bio, click it, sign up for the Womanhood Initiation because the last one is happening this Sunday, and that's your gateway into the woman community. So this topic of a community that honors your bigness and your authenticity, I love this. So this partly actually connects to what I said at the beginning of the conversation here on TikTok about, here we go. I always feel like I want to become beastly when I go this angle. There's a feel like that wants to really like the animal, the in me just wants to when I come here. And the way that I'm even just catching this right now to bring it forward. So we exert an exorbitant amount of energy to keep ourselves small. No, we exert an exorbitant amount of energy to not say what we mean, to play small, to be liked, to appear less sexual, less powerful, less vocal, less of who we are. Yes or no? Yeah. So in that, this is why I'm exhausted. My creativity is stifled. I mean, I don't know. I just got so much going on, girl. I'm just tired. I'm busy. Yeah. We once you habituate stifling yourself, it's easy to even notice how we stifle ourselves. So I shared here on TikTok earlier today that a woman showed up to the initiation today. Before she opened her mouth, I've never met this woman. Before she opened her mouth, the essence I got from her was Queen Mother, kiss her feet, bow down, honor, power. Before she opened her mouth. Now, her, like other women, are like, I know women, but I've yet to be in a community of women who, honor, who respect, who really see me, who da 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 da. Now, this, I feel a door just open to an even larger conversation that we live on an earth that does not fucking respect the power that we are. It's so important that we remember that. It reminds me of the James Baldwin quote that said, "To be," he said, "Negro, to be a Negro who's even relatively awake in America is to be in a state of rage almost all the fucking time." So this is why emotional refinement is so important, because a lot of us are so busy being angry that we can't do what the fuck we came here for. We're so busy mad at the government, mad at the white man, mad at the system, mad at because shit is like this and these niggas this and black men need to do that. And that's a lack of refinement of our emotions. Listen, I have my own feelings too. Okay? Every other woman you see at Target, grocery store, TikTok, in the comments, we all have our feelings about things. And what you gonna do about it? So, like so many of us, we jump around to communities, we stay in chronic isolation, we procrastinate, we stay small, we get fat, overeating, we're unhappy, our hair falls out, we fuck with men who are beneath us, all the things. Because we live in a world that, for so much effort to ignore, not see, downgrade true raw power, especially if it's coming from a melanin dominant man or woman. Yeah. So when you see a me, like this woman who came into the Womanhood Initiation today, she, like so many women, said, Naima, I saw you and was like, that's me. That's us. This. Let, and she showed up. Now, this is what women say all the time. So I want to speak to the, and this is part of why I opened up the beginning of the conversation here on TikTok with, why does this matter? What's going on here? Where does, for those of you who are angry, sad, apathetic, rageful, what's underneath it? Have you questioned? What's underneath your anger? Assuming your anger. What's underneath your rage? Assuming you're connected with your rage. What's underneath your apathy? What's underneath, like, why do you overeat? Why do you, like, do you question what's going on? Do you question why you're so snappy? Deeply, though, not just like because they don't clean up after themselves, not just because I got a busy week, not because, oh, because they sent an email that pissed me off, not just, have you questioned deeply what's going on? Especially if you're somebody who looks at my content often. Anybody want to say anything about what's going on underneath these large emotions? What's going on? Anybody on TikTok? What's going on underneath these large emotions? YouTube? Anybody here want to talk about what's going on under these large emotions we have? Somebody said doubts. Somebody said unresolved issues. Doubts about what? What are the unresolved issues? Doubts about what? What are the unresolved issues? We can go further here. If y'all go two-way, you know we can go further or not. What about doubting yourself? See, here we go. What about it? What are you doubting about yourself? James Baldwin said, and I'm paraphrasing, for those of you who love to get specific about people's quotes, he said, when you know who you are, you have to force people to accept you as you are. Now, I'm not, listen, okay. The feminine way is to be who you are. Other people gonna deal with it, however they choose to deal with it. We're not pushing up against. And I get his perspective, being a man alive at his time. To be a colossal being walking around Earth. Are you colossal? Yes or no? Are you colossal? Yes or no? When you're colossal, you know it. I want to hear from you. Are you colossal? Yes or no? Who else? Are you colossal? Yes or no? YouTube, what's up? Are you colossal? Yes or no? This is for the men too. This is for the men too. I've said this many times, and I'm going to say this to drop it here now. When a colossal melanin dominant man and a colossal melanin dominant woman come together and submit to each other, the world will know. Even if they don't see it, they're going to feel it. Okay? When you are a colossal being, what do I mean? When you're a colossal being living in a mundane world where what's laid out for us to do is so, I'm going to use beneath you. And I know people say that in like an ego, but that's beneath. It's beneath you. You can do it, right? Plenty of us do it, right? When I say do it, I mean live the normal life to get along. What does normal life look like? K through 12, college, get married, get a house in the suburbs, have kids, dot, 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 get old, travel, have the same old problems everybody else has, talk about the same old shit everybody else talk about, get involved in the same things everybody else talks about, get old, retire, and die. Yes? When you are a colossal being, meaning the primary reason why you even exist on earth is to restore heaven, and you know it. The primary reason why you breathe, why you have a heartbeat, why you exist in a body is to bring forth righteousness. That's the primary reason why you breathe. It's the primary reason. Listen, you could do a whole bunch of other shit. The primary reason why you exist is to bring heaven on earth. The closer you get to that state of being, one, the more dangerous you become. Two, the more you see clearly. And the more people, the more typical communities, environments, sisterhoods, groups cannot hold you, cannot see you, cannot support. They literally can't. It's not personal. It's not because people got something against you. They don't have the capacity. They can't see. They don't know how. Your language shifts. Who you are shifts. Your being shifts. Everything. The more you start to align yourself with why you came here to earth and form. The war internally begins, shit, Lord knows. For me, it started when I was a teen. But I'm not talking about that war. I'm talking about the war of you being true out in the world. You being true out in the world. That war begins the moment you are ready to start standing in the truth of who you are out in the world. When you're ready to start doing your unique work in the world, when you're ready to be alive, awake, and on in the world, versus how many of us are in isolation, apathetic, withdrawn, scared to show up, playing small. Okay, this is where a war begins because, on the one hand, you want to stand and be who you are. On the other hand, you're coming up against people who you can feel got a problem with it, right? You know, honor, 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 right? Like this woman showed up into the Womanhood Initiation. Before she even said the word honor, I felt it coming up off of her. Just vibrating, just what? And as a loving being, me walking around, look, I can see, okay? And I see this woman before she opens her mouth, I can see, right? And to hear not just her, this is happening to so many of us, to hear us, yeah, see, I'm dating him and I know he doesn't see me, but I know that my husband would never accept me and no community has ever, this could, who of you are going to stand in the truth of who you are and do your work so the right woman can come into your world? Do you understand how many of us around the world are looking to be honored and activated? And I want to say something right now to the colossal melanin dominant men. Your mind has been warped. Your deep mind has been warped. Do you secretly know that? And you just don't want to say that out of your mouth? I mean that sincerely. Please, I mean that. I often am like, do they see? Like, do they see and they just like don't want to admit it because they don't want to be attacked or seem like they're gonna lose clout in the man club? Do they see? And see what? One, who they are, for the ones who are this colossalness that I'm talking about. And then see who we are and understand what can happen and will happen when the right two of us come together and submit to one another. And that as a colossal being, melanin dominant man, your activation comes in relationship with me and my sameness. And this is another thing. Earlier today, it clicked. I was just like, I've been saying my likeness. Many people can dress up to appear in likeness. That likeness is being replaced with sameness. Melanin dominant man, your job is to be in service to me. You colossal being, that's your job. So we see how some of the fractions, do you see how some of the fractions of righteousness comes out of people's mouths? Um, so I'll use something trending going on to make this point. So the whole Black Wives Are for Billionaires trend that's going on. A melanin dominant man did a video on TikTok that I saw. Did I save it? Maybe. Did you all see that video where it was a green screen, black man was, he put the quote up from the Ben guy, the white billionaire, and he, in paraphrasing what he said, basically he was like, brothers, y'all really tripping about this? This is who you worship, talking about the white man. This is who you worship, the white man. You want to be like him, you want to have nuclear family the way he tell you to do it. Yeah, black, right? You worship with his power and what he doing. You want to be like him, and then he tell us that our women are preferred, and y'all got a problem with it. Did anybody here see that video? Anybody here see that video? Y'all didn't see the video. Okay, Ashley says she saw it. Right? He said, this the men who y'all worship, I said, come on. Now see, black, and he didn't have no, and I didn't scroll that far to see the comments, but I looked because I was looking to see if black men was gonna be clowning him in the comments. I didn't see any black men clowning him in the comments. Did you, Ashley? He was talking so honestly, so directly. It's like, how you gonna refute what he's saying? How you gonna refute? It's like you get sometimes when you come with a level of truth that's just truth, you to even argue it shows how insecure you are, right? Because he was saying the truth, right? He say, he say, the man y'all worship, y'all dating his women, y'all doing the nuclear family and trying to do life and living the way he tell y'all to do it, and he just told y'all that our women are preferred by billionaires. But here's the point that he made that I said, see, I'm glad he said it, because see, when I say it, it's looked at as, you know, I'm telling, this is how they have warped your mind, melanin dominant black man. He said, because the wives that they're marrying are not submissive women. I said, here he go. Here he go. He had my, I said, here he go. I said, oh, he knows. He knows. He said, because the men they marrying, women they marrying are not submissive women. Oh, we. Oh, we. Uh-huh. Come on, brother. Come on. And he started naming some famous billionaires, because then we can identify. And he started naming the billionaires and their wives. These women ain't. These women is vocal, public, doing things. Yeah, Ashley said he told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Sir, listen. This is how they warped the mind of the melanin dominant man. And this is why I say, sir, can you see? Your behavior is telling me you cannot see. And if you do see, you scared to come forth. Or you think somehow if you just fight that thing long enough, you can make a wrong seem right. You can make an untruth seem true. They told melanin dominant man, they told you to make sure your wife is submissive, because they knew that as long as your woman is not in full power, you are neutered. They knew that if your woman was disconnected, which is why yesterday or the other day I said, to even exist as a melanin dominant man and a melanin dominant woman who's colossal, to even exist in the kind of marriage that the white man created, you have to be a neutered male. You cannot be in full masculinity. And she has to be a disconnected, disassociated woman for you even to begin to try to make that work. It is not real. It is not sustainable. It is not true for us. But clearly, he is convinced the overwhelming majority of Black men that this is the righteous way, because they defend it and fight for it with their life. They have hinged their energy on it for most of their lives. The nuclear family, getting married because that's the way, man, wife, children in the house. That's the way. And then paint a picture, show pictures in the suburbs, and look at, we are successful. Is it working? Is that enough for you? Is it enough for you? Because if it's enough for you, you're something else. Is it enough? Your wife, as she is, your children, your family, and your life, is it enough? Are you fulfilled? Are you nourished? Are you know that is it? That's what you came for. If so, you are a different being. Those of us who are colossal, we know in good goddamn well there's a multi-dimensionalism that we are meant to live. And what that looks like is that we are in love with all of us. We are a village. You have multiple wives, and it's not the in sickness and health, the vows he gave. In sickness and health, to death do us part. You don't have to do that. When it's a spiritual marriage, it's already done. I don't need to tell myself something. Do you see what I mean about the highness and how much you have to disconnect from highness to even exist in his ways? You see what I mean? So he said, they telling y'all to get wives who submit. Do you see they billionaire wives in submission? No. The whole the, the black men who are online proud that their wife cooks and cleans. She cook, clean, all that. Do you think a billionaire would be proud if his business partners and friends came to his house and his woman was cooking and cleaning? Do you think he'd be proud of that? See, he told y'all to do that because he knew that you'd be neutered. Because you are neutered when you have a disconnected woman in your house. You are neutered. But as soon, see, this is why, as soon as you have a colossal melanin dominant man and a colossal melanin dominant woman come together in full agreement, full approval, sex power, doing what they came here for, the whole world will know it, even if they don't see it. They're going to feel it. It's a ripple. That's what Matrix 4 was all about. This whole fight that's going on, this fake ass fight that's going on between the sex, fake. Fake. The way there's so much tension, the closer we start to get to each other, you coming up against all of the symbols, everything that's been put in the way of us being together. I'm talking about the symbols that are in the unconscious mind about who I am, how I love, who you are. Can't nobody tell me shit, nigga. Can't, nigga, can't no white man, demonic force, can't know nothing. Everything come from me. Everything. Can't no system, no fear, no death, no propaganda, no energy, no force, no nothing can come between what I know and what I am. I know it. I know. I see. It's y'all. When I say y'all, I'm talking about melanin dominant women. Men, it's y'all who have been blinded and neutered. Y'all have been blinded and neutered. We know. We know. Mhm. So just like the Vatican, they got the Black Madonnas, they worshiping the Black woman behind the scenes, but they telling y'all the path to righteousness is a woman's submission to her husband, and the man is up above and the head and all this and all that. He is just not in the way that y'all have organized yourself. If you are not honoring, see, this is why the women are coming around like there's not the honor in the community. There's not the honor. There's not the respect. There's not the reverence. And when I say reverence, I mean reverence for the full feminine, not this sanitized pink dresses and quiet and less and diluted sexual energy and disconnected from the fullness of who she is. And so what the women are doing now is they are wow, they're doing so many things. So let me ask you, Oh, Monda said the be sweet culture. Yeah, be sweet, be kind, be kind. Mm-mm. Sometimes that can be code for don't say what you really mean. Tell me sweet lies. Call me a king no matter what. What are you all doing with yourselves? YouTube, TikTok. How are you handling what you're seeing? Because that black man created that video because he can see so many black men are mad that this billionaire white man has come out and said that billionaires prefer black women. That and he said black wives are for grown-ups. Now you call it propaganda, call it what you want to. And this is old. He didn't just say this. This is old. I remember that trending years ago. Okay. But it's not even that he said it, it's the response, whether it's propaganda, whatever. It's him. He said it. His face is on it. His black wife is right there in the picture with him. Why is there so much upsetness from the black men? This is what the black man was getting at. Even if it is fake, this is who y'all worship. Y'all worship his ways, his women. I heard another black man say, when y'all go watch porn, that's who y'all watching, white women. I love these black men who calling this shit to the fucking carpet. He said, black men, when y'all go watch porn, that's who y'all watching, these white women. And what women and men are saying is, see, you don't want, and this is why the women are like, where's the honor? See, you don't want other people honoring black women because you don't honor black women. That's what you mad at. You mad that he is acknowledging who she is because you don't acknowledge who she is. You like to ignore her, tell her her job is to mop floors and clean and be submissive and play small and be quiet. Because see, that's what you've been thinking all this time because you don't realize, or maybe you do, that you've been doing what the beasts say all this time, thinking you righteous. Hmm. But then when he come out and say, and not even just say, but do, because these billionaires do not have submissive black wives, he would be ashamed to come online and say, yeah, my wife cook, clean, proud. Yeah, that's her job to cook and clean and to maintain his house. No, they have staff. Because unlike so many black men who call the help queens, I don't know any queen who mops, cleans, cooks, do the work of the help. No, their staff does that. You go to his house, the staff answers the door. The staff offers you something to drink. The staff is cooking and cleaning. Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I said the same thing the other day. I said, one, the younger men who actually want a powerful woman, just like a lot of older men want younger women because they are, um, what is it, malleable, or even just you listen different. You're not as tainted when you're younger. It's the same thing with the younger men who are actually listening to women. I said that they are going to be the ones who change things because they want powerful. When you haven't been, especially if it's in the house, if you watched your dad really take care of your mom, like true queen way, you're going to go for that. I don't know no man who they had help in the house who then got married and had his wife do the cooking and cleaning. So Manda said, I've heard this on TikTok from younger generations saying their dad pays someone to clean so their mom can be around. Exactly. And this is what the younger ones are going to do, or the men who paid for somebody to help. For example, here's a really good example. This woman, it was some, I can't remember. Oh, there's a lot of creators on TikTok that do content about like dating and how to vet and how to choose a man. And this woman had done a video basically saying how you know if a man hates you. Now, strong language, whatever, right? That's the language she chose. It basically was saying when you're vetting, how do you know if a man really likes women or if he just wants you to be a dutiful person who cooks and cleans, he can have sex with, make babies, etc., and how to tell. And one of the things she said is if he wants you to go 50-50, if he wants you to basically do all the help work in the house, even if you are a stay at home mom and you don't work, if he wants you to do all the cooking and cleaning and yeah, uh, just anything that has you tired, exhausted, not being able to explore your passion, your creativity, etc. And it was all these comments from women. And one woman was like, I knew my husband loved me really when. And she said that one day she had did some kind of deep cleaning in their bathroom and she deep cleaned the toilet. And when her husband came home, she brought him to the toilet to show how well she cleaned the toilet. And she said her husband got upset and immediately hired somebody to come clean the toilet. She said, that's when I knew my husband really loves me. Now, I'm not saying everybody got to do that, but good God. You want to care? You want to talk about queen? Queen. When a man either sees his dad pay for help to come into the house so that the mom can be around, so that the mom can take really good care of herself and go to the spa in the middle of the day, explore her passions, maybe even go live in another country for another month, etc. This is part of how he demonstrates that he sees her truly as a queen, not just like to call her that so he can create this whole house playing scenario of being a king and a queen, or that he genuinely cares and loves about her, right? And that if he didn't see that, and instead he saw his mother going 50-50, or he saw his mother, you know, just only in a mother role. He never saw his mother sexy. He saw his mother cooking and cleaning all the time and matronly and overweight and tired and only catering to everybody else but never catering to herself. Then obviously he's going to go on and duplicate that. Obviously, because men only know what they see. Very rarely do men become anomalies just because they duplicate what they saw, or they develop so much in their spirituality that they really start to call in what their high self requires. And when a man starts to really call in what his high self requires, he starts to require highness all around. That includes help, staff, a high woman, all around. What do y'all have to say about this topic? Welcome in. I see y'all. So that was that was a long I'm talking to melanin dominant men situation. I really wanted to, because Melanin dominant men watch my content quietly. Very few actually come in and say something. But it's been several occasions where I'll get a DM or a man, or he's been watching for a while and he's deciding to send a message. Or like the one who was in here earlier, you know? So I'm saying this particularly because YouTube, right? Because the replay won't be on TikTok, particularly for YouTube. For the few ones, the rare ones who make it this far in the video, and you know, want to say something about that, can consider that, or who already know this, you know what I'm saying? Hey, OG. that's gonna be a that's gonna be a whole new day, because there's certain things that will only unleash. Oh my God. Living in the end, this has unleashed this ricochet in the world on a colossal at that this has been activated in the world. The colossal melanin dominant man and the colossal melanin dominant women who are in submission to each other. It's true. Like, this is highest level righteousness right here. It's true though. It's true. Everything else is just foreplay. Everything else is fodder. Everything else is prep work. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Thank you for the 8,000 likes on TikTok, for the 8,000 hearts. Welcome in, Cornelius. Mm. So, in closing, honor, true righteousness, submission to one another. And you know, in that submission, there's a, like I said earlier before I came here live on YouTube, when you really come into love of who you are, truly, and even beyond loving who you are, loving what is, like the profoundness that is life. When you see that, know that, and you see your sameness, not your likeness, your sameness, you love. It's a natural submission to yourself. Oh my God. This is what I mean by the lies and the exorbitant effort we put forth to stay out of power, to stay away from each other. That's why you got to compensate with drinking this and doing that and that. It's so easy. It's like we don't want it. I like the game of the war, and I prefer that than just the actual. I said yes to the love of what is myself, right? Him seeing me seeing him. We submit to one another and create for all of us. Yes, no, no, I prefer the war, right? Because wasn't there a sort of enjoyment around watching Matrix 4 and how they fought to get to each other? And did y'all, yes, no, y'all feeling that? Y'all get that? Does that make sense? Honor, in closing, honor. And first of all, the coming here, True love. True love. It's just, it does its thing. Now, people put forth a lot of effort to create divides, uh, but all it does is control you from underneath when you put forth effort to intercept what is true at a true love level. Honor, submission to your highness, which automatically puts you on the plane with your sameness. Oh, I love that they came through earlier today. All right, hold on, TikTok. YouTube, thank you so much. And lastly, at least lastly over here with YouTube, the Womanhood Initiation, the last one is happening this coming Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific. If you are looking for support and you're ready for the community that honors you, the colossalness that you are, come to the Womanhood Initiation. That's your gateway into the woman community. Okay, so you will be, assuming it's a good fit, invited into the woman community during the initiation, assuming it's a good fit. So you can sign up for that with the link in the description. Okay, have a great weekend. Bye.